Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a review video of the Arrtx Oil Pastels. They were so kind and sent them to me and asked me to have a look at them and make kind of a review video and share a little bit about how you can use oil pastels. There are 72 colors in this box, and this is a huge amount of colors, and I'm really happy to use those. I mostly use them in my sketchbook just for fun, to add final details to a sketch and to play a bit. Before I make the color swatches of all these crayons, I will sketch a birdie. It's one of the birdies I'm doing here for the Birdtober challenge, and this was one that I missed, I think, on that day, and here I thought I would try to sketch it only with the oil pastels. Usually I like them in mixed media to add final details or to play abstract. I shared a video recently where I reviewed the Paul Rubens oil pastels, and there I did an abstract art journal page. They are super creamy, the Arrtx Oil Pastels, and that's really nice. They are a bit chunky, but that's, I think, normal with oil pastels. And I really like that they are so creamy and you can smudge them with your fingers. The crayons come with a name and a number on them, which is really good because you always know exactly which color you have if you swatch them. And they are wrapped in paper, and it's easy to remove it because it's perforated every 1 centimeter, so that's a really nice thing. And here you can see how easy you can blend them together just with your finger. The only thing you have to make sure is to clean your finger in between so you don't mix in other color. Whilst I was playing with them, I really thought that I think my kids would love to play with these kind of crayons, as they are super intense and saturated and creamy. And you can layer with them. That worked pretty good. I think I will show it later in the video. I was not happy with the white, but I was happy with some lighter tones over darker ones. Here I started speeding up the video a bit because it takes a while to sketch this birdie, but it was truly a lot of fun, and this is something I am going to do more often, to just play a bit more and not take it too serious, because I learned just playing and drawing without a specific goal teaches you more. So I think since April I haven't used an eraser in my sketchbooks when I was drawing, and that since then it has been so easy to grab my sketchbook and paint and draw and experiment, because I am truly not afraid to ruin anything. I think I'm pretty happy with my birdie, and when I play with oil pastels in any sketchbook, I always lay a sheet of transparent paper in between the pages, so I make sure the paint or the crayon does not transfer to the other side. And there is no way to fix oil pastels so that they don't smear. Well, they are fixed. They don't come off the page if you blow them or anything, but they will just smear if you touch them. And they will also collect a lot of dust. So if you have a painting on a separate sheet of paper, then always make sure to keep it away from dust. So in a drawer or something like that, and always protect it with a sheet of transparent paper. And if you want to hang up an oil pastel painting, of course you have to put it into a glass frame, and just make sure to have a distance between your painting and the glass, so you don't want to have the glass directly on your oil pastels. I will now swatch each color of the 72 crayons, and I will speed this part up as well. I will now do a little bit more of experimenting with the colors, so you can see how they behave, how they blend. Well, it's always a bit difficult to make greens, I feel, and often the greens that come with kind of these crayons, no matter which brand it is, they are often not the ones I like. In this set, I have about 3 greens that I really liked, and the others look not as natural as I want them. And so I often try to mix my owns, but that's also a bit difficult. In this set, there are so many different blues, and that's a bit hard to find out which ones will make a nice green with one of the yellows. But you can absolutely see how well they blend together just with your fingers. Well, it's a mess, but I think that's the fun part about creating, having a bit of a messy time. And here I'm trying to layer, and I used a gray, and that worked really good. I think the white, well, that looks really nice. The white does not work as good as the other lighter colors did, so maybe I would recommend getting a white from a better brand, which is more expensive and maybe more pigmented. I usually don't need that property that a color layers well, because I usually use them just as the final layer on a sketch or on a notch on a page, and I don't layer them up. And with this flower, I try to layer a bit of white to make some highlights. But that's, well, it's a bit difficult. It's not purely white what you get. And I don't know if this is different with other brands. I think here I grabbed the stick from Paul Rubens to see if there is a difference. And maybe, yes, it's a bit better than the Arrtx, but, well, I'm not sure if this is something that is important or possible to have. I always worked in this Royal Talent sketchbook for the oil pastels, and I wanted to try out a different surface, and I have an acrylic block here which has this linen texture, and I will make a similar flower on this as well, just to see if it feels different compared to this smooth sketchbook paper. I will link up the oil pastels in my video description, and if I have a discount code, which sometimes happens, then I will write it next to the link, so maybe you can save some money. My feeling is that if you want to paint a whole painting with oil pastels, I would recommend such a textured surface, because I feel it grabs more of the pastel, and it also has more, you can work more on this kind of paper because it's just a higher quality than the sketchbook paper. So this might be something you want to try if you're painting just with the oil pastels. I'm speeding up the rest of the video as well, so you can see how I'm finishing up the flower. Yes, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really happy with the oil pastels, and I've already used them a bunch of times just for final details in my sketchbook, but I believe they are fabulous as a Christmas present for an arty kid, for example, because they are so nice, and I think especially kids love it when they have tons of colors to play with. As always, you will find a blog post about these crayons on my website, and I will link it in the video description. There you can see some close-up images of the experiments I did today, and also of the swatches. I hope we see us next time, and I wish you a wonderful rest of the week. Bye!